Today's game on KFJB-TV is brought to you by Assured Partners, Boy Scouts of America, Edward Jones, Agent Zach Wall, Embers Retirement Community, Honest Heating and Cooling, Jensen Ford, Legends American Grill, Lennox Employees Credit Union, Marshalltown Area Chamber, Marshalltown Community College, McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, Pence Appliance and TV, Wayward Social, Zeno's, Wandering Creek, Wells Fargo Advisors, Laurel Diesel Services, Calvin Rocket, your Marshalltown Hy-Vee, Central State Bank.
Well, game number one went the way of the Ottumwa Bulldogs, 19-0. The final score there in game number one. Quite a few errors for the Marshalltown Bobcats as they fall to the Ottumwa Bulldogs, who now improved to a mark of 12-5 on the season. The Bobcats are 2-18 behind head coach Colton Hankey in his first year. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, John Yeager has been at the helm for quite a few years now. I believe it's 5 for the Ottumwa Bulldogs. So he has Ottumwa going in the right direction. They're now 5-1. In their last 6 games, coming off a sweep on Monday and now threatening to sweep the Marshalltown Bobcats here tonight. I bring in my sidekick alongside me, Dylan Doze. I'm Brandon Lewis. Great to have you along. Game number 2 right around the corner. This is one where this season we've seen the Bobcats be very competitive when they've had the race. Xander step on the mound. Other than that, it's been a real big struggle to find another guy who can really get up there and not only hit the zone, but hit it effectively, hit your spots, and get some outs. We saw some pitchers come in, hit the zone, but leave that ball hanging too much. So it's really, can another pitcher step up in this scenario for the Bobcats?
Yeah, you talk about Xander Stupp. His ERA is just over 3.3, and any team in high school, that's a great ERA, but when your offense isn't giving you numbers, that becomes even more electric. But when Xander steps off that mound, we've really struggled to have that. And in game 1, it was those 5 errors, walks, hit batter, but when they did find the zone, they found it belt high over the middle, and Ottumwa teed off. It was gap-to-gap parade en route to 19 runs. And then when you flip it on the offensive side, there in the 3rd inning, it was 6-0. Bobcats had runners on 1st and 3rd, nobody out, and could not get in a run. And that just is exasperating the offensive woes that the Bobcats have, sitting at 2-18, scoring less than 2 runs a game. You've got to be able to claw every run across home plate.
Yeah, and it was a win to end a 17-game losing streak for the Marshalltown Bobcats after they won their opening game of the season against South Tama. They, of course, won on Monday, the second game of the doubleheader, as they beat Waterloo East 2-1 on Monday. That went into extra innings, went into the 8th inning. We know how the Bobcats are doing. For the Ottumwa Bulldogs, they're trending in the right direction. We'll take a look at a scouting report on the Ottumwa Bulldogs, all brought to you by Brown Shoe Fit in Marshalltown, coming up next, right here on your home for the Cats. News Talk 1230 AM, 93.9 FM, and right here on KFJB-TV.
You're an empty nester closing in on that retirement property. Chances are your plans didn't include mom moving in, but life happens and you do the right thing. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement means caring for yourself and a loved one, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
As you walk inside, you know right away, the place for fun is Wayward Social. There is always plenty of bowling action, so plan for your next outing to include bowling at Wayward Social. Meet your friends for lunch, dinner, or your favorite beverages. You will absolutely love their lunch specials Tuesday through Friday, including endless pizza by the slice. You choose the toppings. Wayward Social, South 6th Street in Marshalltown. Online at wayward-social.com. Bobcats and Bulldogs tonight on KFJB-TV. Game number 2 is coming up in just a little bit. As the Ottumwa Bulldogs are in town, let's take a look at tonight's scouting report on the Bulldogs, all presented by Brown Shoe Fit in Marshalltown. A lot of historical success for Ottumwa baseball, and obviously they're playing good this season, Dylan.
Yeah, it all comes down to the word balance. If you look at this Ottumwa team, they can hit it up and down the lineup and up and down the grade order. They have 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and seniors all hitting over 350. As a team, they're hitting 300, but the balance not just on the offensive side. Then you look on the pitching side, their team ERA is in the low 3s. Yeah. So if you're hitting over 300, your ERA is in the low 3s, man alive, you're going to win a lot of baseball games, as they've already got a dozen wins on the year. But I think really tonight, Dawson Weller being on the mound, he kind of epitomizes that. This year he's hitting 326. He'll hit in the 5-hole tonight. He has 12 RBI, but then you get him on the mound, 3.0 ERA. He struck out 17 in 14 innings of work, and he just epitomizes what this Ottumwa team does. They can hit it, they can throw it, and they can pitch it around, and that's Bobcats have a big hill to climb in the second half of the doubleheader.
Yeah, and especially at the plate where the hits just, they might get one here or there, but they have not been able to string together consistent hits to play that small ball, or even executing, bunt overs and that kind of thing, where this is not a team that can climb out of a 5-0 hole early on.
And when we talk about 300 hitters, 400 hitters up and down that lineup for Ottumwa, Bobcats have 3 hitters that are hitting 250 and above. No one's hitting 300. And so what that tells you is most prolific hitter is Kusero at the top of the lineup. He can run some, he can hit some, but that means he's got to get on base for Taven Dutton, and then Sam Griesel will be able to bring him around. Yep. Really the bright spot, you and I talk about it every time we see this team, really comes the senior in center field. Dale Green, leading the team in hitting at 286, but he just seems to have a knack for playing that center field position. Made a couple spectacular catches in that first game. He's been fun to watch. He's been the silver lining in a tough season.
That is our scouting report on the Ottumwa Bulldogs, all presented by Brown Shoe Fit, with a wide variety of top quality shoes with you every step of the way. A lot of crossover between North and South in the Iowa Alliance. We'll talk about that when we come back with our look around the conference right here on your home for the Cats, KFJB-TV.
Brown Shoe Fit has a great selection of athletic footwear. Choose from New Balance, On, Keen, Echo, and much more. Brown Shoe Fit can find the right shoe for every occasion for both men and women, including dress shoes, casual shoes, work boots, and European footwear, carrying multiple sizes and widths to ensure the best fit for you. Their expert-friendly staff is available to give you a personalized experience and can find the right shoes for what you need. Brown Shoe Fit, downtown Marshalltown. With you every step of the way.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
Today's game on KFJB-TV is brought to you by Assured Partners, power through partnership. Boy Scouts of America, Adventure On. Edward Jones, Zach Wall, your financial advisor in Marshalltown. Embers Retirement Community, independent living for active seniors. Honest Heating and Cooling, let the Honest team watch over your home's comfort 24/7.
Countdown to first pitch rolls on with a look around the Iowa Lions Conference tonight. All brought to you by Exterior Plus Home Remodeling, building relationships one customer at a time. Tonight, Ames is taking on Roosevelt as that one at home for the Ames Little Cyclones. Ames will be in Marshalltown coming up next Thursday night. Meanwhile, Fort Dodge and Lincoln tonight, another matchup in the Iowa Alliance on the north versus south side of things. Meanwhile, some other scores starting to come in. By the way, softball, did you see from the Iowa Alliance the other night? Ames softball, a sweep, doubleheader sweep against the Fort Dodge Dodgers. A little bit of an upset, might be a little bit of the changing of the guard in the Iowa Alliance.
I would love to know the last time Fort Dodge was swept in a twin
By
bill.
anybody.
By anybody. You can go top and bottom. I know they were ranked third last week.
Even when they were in the CIML, that was hardly even happening.
They've been incredible for such a long time. That's a big feather in the cap for the Ames Little Cyclones.
Yeah, that is for sure. We'll get scores throughout the night, all brought to you by Central State Bank. As we roll along, we'll get the starting lineups for both the Bulldogs and the Bobcats when we come back. That is your look around the conference, again all presented by Exterior Plus Home Remodeling in Marshalltown.
My name's Lake Schultz. I'm the co-owner of Exterior Plus Home Remodeling. At Exterior Plus, we truly strive to build relationships one customer at a time. And that's why we're the Midwest's #1 choice in full home remodels. Located in Marshalltown, Iowa, as well as Lincoln, Nebraska, we pride ourselves in providing quality service on time, every time. Give us a call for a free inspection and estimate at 844-261-6111. That's 844-261-6111. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
You should never have to wait after ordering new appliances. At Penn's Appliance, you wouldn't. With an incredible selection in stock and ready to install today. Our friendly team is here to help you pick the perfect set to match your style. And let our professional technicians install and set up your new appliances, often delivering the very next day. Stop in today, see all the new features, and find your new look at Penn's Appliance. For sales and service of everything appliance, go see the Pence team.
Back in on the countdown to first pitch. Time for scoreboard update. All brought to you tonight by Central State Bank. Discover what Central State Bank can do for you.
Thank you, Brooksy. Back in the studio. In the 6th inning, Norwalk 3, Pella 0. Indianola taking on Newton, and they've got a 5-spot lead, 7-2 in the 5th inning. And then the vaunted Ankeny Centennial Jaguars win 11-1 over Waukee in Game 1 of a doubleheader.
I mean, I miss the Jaguars, but I don't miss the Jaguars. You know what I mean?
I concur with that. I always love to say a good Jaguars, but I don't love to say Jaguars 96, Bobcats 13.
Yeah, that's not my favorite version of Jaguars. No. That is for sure. All right, that's the scoreboard update. All brought to you by Central State Bank. We'll get you scoreboard updates as we roll throughout the night tonight. Time for tonight's starting lineups. All brought to you by Sandvik Enterprises in Marshalltown. Let them deliver for you while we deliver you the starting lineup. All right, first off for the visiting Ottumwa Bulldogs tonight, as they'll send Dawson Weller to the mound, as Dylan alluded, with that 3 ERA. He will get the start on the bump, as Dowd will lead off things. Dalton Dowd, he'll play right field in game number 2, hitting .382 as a leadoff batter, as he does have 8 runs scored. Tucker Long will bat the 2-hole. He's at shortstop. He is hitting .475. As we look at the 3-hole hitter, no relation, I believe, to Barry, but it is Brady Larkin in the 3-hole here tonight. First baseman hitting .222. He was very impactful in game number 1 here tonight, Dylan.
Yeah, and if you're just looking at averages, he's kind of supposed to be average-wise the weak link of that lineup. But he brought the charge, and they just had people up and down the lineup just raking. Like I said, gap to gap, doubles, extra base hits all around.
The only Ottumwa Bulldog to score a touchdown against the Bobcats this year will bat in the 4-hole. Javen Rominger, he caught a touchdown pass, and then there was gunshots. And luckily, no gunshots tonight.
No, that was an interesting night. That was an interesting night.
And then soccer, we had a storm roll through. So every time we play Ottumwa, it's something.
All I miss is we always get Sonic in Ottumwa. No Sonic up here in Marshalltown.
That's for sure. Batting in the 5-hole, we talked about him. The pitcher, Dawson Weller, batting behind him, his battering mate at catcher, Cameron Maneri, as he'll bat in the 6-hole. Matt Mitchell's the DH as he bats for the third baseman and Landon Boney. Andrew Evans is at the Keystone, batting in the 8-hole. And Chase Thompson looks to turn over the lineup in the 9-hole as he's batting .312 on the season. Meanwhile, for the Marshalltown Bobcats, as they come in behind head coach Colton Hankey, they are 10-7 against Ottumwa since 2009, but it's been all Ottumwa as of recent in this matchup.
Yeah, once the Bobcats with their last state tournament berth, it would have been in 2018. Since then, the Bobcats have really struggled from the post-retirement of Coach Stan Hansen to really get much going. And really, it's an attrition of roster. We see a lot of young faces each and every year and haven't seen a lot go all the way to their senior year.
It'll be Kuzero to lead it off. Taven Dutton, Sam Griesel, Xander Stupp, Dale Green, J.J. Schoenfelder, Luke Stolzer, Garrett Tatey, and then Gavin Freiberg. He's the pitcher tonight. He'll bat in the 9-hole, and then Bennett Ricken is in right field as he will be hit for in that flex spot for the DH here tonight in Garrett Tatey. So that is 1 through 9 for the Bobcats here tonight as they match up with the Ottumwa Bulldogs. First pitch from game number 2 is coming up momentarily. This is Countdown to First Pitch. You're watching KFJB-TV.
You'll find the perfect mattress for you at McGregor's Furniture and Mattress. You choose the firmness, comfort, and support level, all at a great price. McGregor's always has a great selection of sofas, recliners, dining room, and bedroom furniture to help you live and relax in comfort and style. Their staff will help you find just what you're looking for. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown, is open 7 days a week. They're proud to support Bobcat Athletics.
Life can take unexpected turns. Maybe you started college, but life got in the way. At Marshalltown Community College, we understand. It's never too late to chase your dreams. Come back to where your journey began. Rediscover your passion for learning and let us help you achieve your goals. Schedule a visit today at MarshalltownCommunityCollege.com.
Marshalltown Community College, a step in the right direction.
And no, he was off the plate. Off the plate, and the game is over. Beautiful night for baseball between the Bobcats and the Bulldogs tonight. 85 degrees at first pitch in game number 2. We'll get to first pitch coming up momentarily. Let's step aside for our national anthem here at the Bobcat Baseball Complex. We are getting you set for tonight's matchup between the Ottumwa Bulldogs and the Marshalltown Bobcats. Let's get tonight's keys to the game, all brought to you by Ethington Heating and Cooling. We're not comfortable until you are. Dylan?
We'll start with the hometown Bobcats. It really comes down to don't be extra. And what I mean by that, the Bobcats have given over 220 free opportunities, 75 to 80 errors already on the year. They've walked almost 100 batters while hitting an additional 45. You cannot allow extra base runners outside of hits, because in that first game, 19 runs, only 14 hits. For the Bobcats to stay in this, they have got to eliminate the extra bases. And then on the flip side, if I'm Ottumwa, you took care of business game one, is jump on them early. The Bobcats have 2 wins, both of those by a single run. You get on them early. The Bobcats struggle to piece hits together in order to score. And those are the keys here tonight.
Gavin Freiberg is the starting pitcher here tonight. Let's take a look at who's back behind him defensively. It'll be Kuzaro catching for Freiberg, who is on the mound here tonight to get the start. Taven Dutton is at third. Sam Griesel at short. Luke Stalzer is at second, and Xander Stupp is at first base. J.J. Schoenfelder in left. Green is in center, and Ricken is getting the start in right field tonight for the Marshalltown Bobcats. Well, we mentioned Gavin Freiberg getting the start tonight. His first start of the season, just 3 innings pitched with a 4.67 ERA, 3 walks, no strikeouts in just those 3 innings pitched. So it'll be interesting to see what Gavin Freiberg can do tonight for the Marshalltown Bobcats on the bump. As this is a team that really still, like we alluded to in our opener, Dylan, really trying to find who they are, their identity, and what they have in some of their younger players.
It really is. Everybody is fast-forwarded a year. Everyone is moved up.
Yep.
And without having that attrition over and over, so it comes down to you're not going to get to softly go into a game and learn yourself as behind somebody. You're going to learn through fire. You're going to learn from the mound. You're going to learn from in the field. And there's going to be some bumps and bruises along the way.
We are underway as it is a 2-0 count to Dalton Dowd, the leadoff batter for the Ottumwa Bulldogs. He'll take ball number 3 as Gavin Freiberg, just a freshman for the Bobcats. Bobcats going with the blue tops, white numbers outlined in red. Blue caps, red bills, gray pants in game number 2. Gray tops, pinstripe white with red pinstripes for the Ottumwa Bulldogs. And that is a 4-pitch walk to Dowd to begin the game by Gavin Freiberg, as he'll head down to the first base. As we'll see the 2-hole hitter Tucker Long stand in, the shortstop, hitting .475 coming into this one. 15 RBI, 13 runs scored on the season. He is 4 of 5 on stolen base attempts. Right-handed pitcher in Freiberg will throw over to first base to check back Dowd, as Long is a left-handed batter standing in here in this at-bat. And it was a 19-0 victory for Ottumwa in game number 1. As Freiberg comes home on the first pitch, it's 5 straight balls to begin the game here.
Yeah, Freiberg's everything's going to be off speed. There is nothing overpowering. It's all about placement and movement for him.
They called that a strike, actually, so 1-1 the count.
Just not a very demonstrative strike call.
Good lead. Runner takes off over at first. Hammered right back up the middle. That's going to move the runner on the corners. Green misplays it in center field. The throw comes in, and that will hold the runner in Tucker Long at first base. So runners on the corners as Dowd moves from first to third on the single by Tucker Long. So walk, now a single, and the Ottumwa Bulldogs in business to begin game number 2.
Same issue as game 1. There you see Freiberg in that first batter missing the plate, and then just to get a strike over top, he grooves one belt high. And when you don't throw overpowering stuff and you're going to live belt high in the middle of the plate, you're going to get ripped all night long.
So Braden, don't call me Barry Larkin at the plate. Slow chopper to third. over to second to try to get the lead runner there, and misplayed for the Bobcats. It's going to be a fielder's choice for Larkin as he picks up an RBI, driving in down from third base. Ottumwa takes the lead 1-0. Tucker Long is safe at second as Dutton tried to go over to second base to get the lead runner, but Stalzer couldn't bring in the throw, and it's going to sneak into center field, and that means runners are standing at first and second as the four-hole hitter, and Rominger stands in there, left-handed batter, and that will not be Rominger, as number 11's actually standing in there. So must be a change for the Ottumwa Bulldogs in their lineup from what we originally were given here tonight.
Yeah, Quinn Larson, the freshman.
Yeah. So Quinn Larson stands in. It was originally supposed to be Rominger, so I don't know if Rominger got hurt or what was the issue.
And we'll have to see positionally because it doesn't. Larson does not look quite built like a center fielder. So
no, he's not. He'll trot down the base pass to first as he's hit by a pitch by Freiberg, and the bases are juiced. And this will be an early team meeting as we see head coach Colton Hankey come out on the mound and talk with the infield, including his starting pitcher in game number 2 tonight in Gavin Freiberg, the freshman in a really tough situation. No outs, top of the first, already a run in, and you've got the bases loaded.
Well, we talked about don't be extra, and just looking at the first 4 batters, you start with a walk, you then have a single, you have a fielder's choice, but it's an E4. It looked like a good throw from Dutton, and the mishandle, and then you get a hit by pitch. That results in a run and bases loaded, nobody out.
Freiberg after the meeting. First pitch, it is, going to hit Dawson Weller, the starting pitcher for the Ottumwa Bulldogs. He'll pick up an RBI as he brings in the runner at third and Tucker Long, and it's 2-0 Ottumwa in the top of the first inning, as that will move Larkin to third, Larson's at second, Weller's at first, and Cameron Maneri, as he is the starting catcher tonight for the Ottumwa Bulldogs, hitting .267. He stands in, and actually, no, it's not Maneri. It's Rominger.
All righty. This is where you wonder why you get a scorecard beforehand.
Yeah. Ball's going to be hit into right center field. This will get down. 1 run is in. 2 more potentially. And it will be a bases-clearing triple for Rominger. Wow, 3 RBI on a triple as he drives in Larkin, Larson, and Weller.
That was a bomb into the gap. Had center field, had Green and Ricken racing to it. Held one up, base just at the waist, and you talked about Rominger's the only one with a home run for Ottumwa this year, and he just blasted it opposite field, clearing the bases for Ottumwa.
So the bases clearing triple makes it 5-0 now, as the first 5 hitters in the lineup are able to get in, and we have another change in our lineup here, as it looks like number 16, as that will be for Ottumwa, Jace Mitchell. We were supposed to see Matt Mitchell in this spot. I'm not sure if he's going to be the DH, and then Landon Boney is going to be at third base like initially planned, but hey, we're rolling with the punches here, Dylan.
And this is why you don't do a box score in pen. I will listen to myself next time.
2-0, 3-0, and now 3, and that's going to be a strike on the other half. So 3-1 is now the count to Jace Mitchell. Delayed call from the home plate umpire there is a 3-1 from Freiberg, fired in high. That will walk the batter in Jace Mitchell. And big trouble as Ottumwa looking like they might bat around in this inning. No outs, top of the first, 5 are in, runners at the corners, as Andrew Evans, the second baseman, heads to the plate batting in the 8 hole.
Well, and you look at those, the Waterloo East games is you saw Stupp go 6 2/3, one hit ball, but that's a lot of innings just 2 days ago. Taven Dutton also pitch extended innings, so he's used up for the week. So you really don't have a lot of options, even though the freshman is struggling mightily with playing double headers all the time.
Ride or die.
Yeah, it's 3 days, 4 games. You're just playing.
Off speed is going to be high for a ball. Runner takes off, and Mitchell has it easily, a stolen bag. So now runners at second and third, a run just 90 feet away. He has at the plate Andrew Evans hitting 179 in the 8-hole. Only 2 RBI on the season coming into this one as he looks to add on to that early on here tonight. Pitch upstairs off speed. It's quickly 2-0 to Emmons. Freiberg looks in, finally has his sign. And that one's going to be low and outside. It makes it 3-0 to the second baseman at Evans.
And this is, they've got they're warming up. Bobcats have people warming up down the right field line.
Freiberg looking to avoid the walk, and unfortunately he will walk Evans. And that will mean the bases are loaded again for the second time in the inning. And now we are going to have a pitching change. As out of the dugout is Colton Hankey for the Marshalltown Bobcats. It is 5-0. Ottumwa with the lead and the bases loaded. No outs when we come back on News Talk 1230 AM, 93.9 FM, and right here on KFJB-TV.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
Trayton Gilliland will be the new pitcher of the game, the freshman. So Gavin Freiberg, his night is done. No innings pitched officially, as he did give up one hit to begin the game there to Tucker Long, a couple of hits, as he gave up one to Rominger as well as Tucker Long. But 5 runs in, another 3 could go to his stat line. And a tough situation for another freshman in Gilliland coming in with the bases loaded here, Dylan.
Yeah, he's another big freshman. They're big guys, but not hard throwers. You're looking at this, it's got a little bit more pizzazz off that fastball. It's looking in, you got a really, really tough matchup for him. Nobody out. You've got bases chocked full of Bulldogs. Really what you're looking for is just getting out. You're not worried about runs coming across. You're looking, what can we do just to get one out? And he looks like he's got one more pitch, and then we're going to get back at it.
Trayton Gilliland, his first pitching appearance of the season, as he will face the 9-hole hitter in Chase Thompson for the Ottumwa Bulldogs. Dowd, Long, Larkin, Carson, Weller already have scored 1 through 5 in the lineup. As Chase Thompson, the left fielder, digs in, Gilliland fires home outside, backhanded by Kuzaro. You know, he's had a tough night in game 1 and this one as far as, had his work cut out for him. It's a hot night back there, but he's really done a nice job to keep some balls from sneaking to the backstop. And here he covers up the 1-0. Now a 2-0 is a ball in the dirt on the outer half to Chase Thompson.
Yeah, I might have to ice those hip flicks. There's a lot of lateral movement in the dirt here tonight.
Gilliland will hit the outer half of the strike zone. Waist high to Thompson. 2-1 count. Get no outs. Bases loaded for Ottumwa here in the top of the first inning, already 5-0. Upstairs, Thompson will leave it alone, and it's a 3-1 count.
And this is where the Bulldogs basically, with the Bobcats struggling to find the zone, they're able to just sit and pick out whatever pitch they want or just pick up the walk.
And it will be a walk, so back to back. So 3 walks in a row now. As Mitchell, Evans, and Thompson now walked, it's an RBI for Chase Thompson as he walks in the run from third, Rominger, and that makes it 6-0 Ottumwa here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, we look at the key to the game for the Bulldogs, just jump on them early. Don't give them any sign of life, and that's been exactly what they've done. But they really haven't had to do a whole lot. You mentioned 2 hits so far, a lot of free passes, the air earlier for the Bobcats, but those hit batsmen and the 4th walk, I believe, so far here in the first inning.
So the Bobcats trailing big, 6-0. As they bat around here in the first inning as Dalton Dowd, a walk and a run scored earlier this inning, and now he's going to drive in. It looks like 2 more runs misplayed by Green. We'll count 2 runs for Dalton Dowd as Dowd will advance to second base on the error out there in center. It looked like Green got a glove on that. So a single, 2 RBI for Dowd as he drives in. Mitchell and Evans making it now 8-0 Ottumwa on top of Marshalltown.
Yeah, this is a tough night. Nothing that's finding the strike zone isn't finding an aluminum bat.
Yeah.
Bobcats really, it was up until the 4th inning when the Bulldogs really put it on them in that first game. Here in game 2, they just use game 1 as a warm-up. They're ready to go. They're rocking and rolling.
Tucker Long stands in, a single right back up the middle, scored a run earlier this inning. And he'll take a first pitch strike from Gilliland. He's working out of the stretch here pretty much exclusively for Gilliland. He'll miss on the 0-1. It's now 1-1. Wind is kind of blowing out of the southwest here tonight on a warm night, 83. And pretty much been sunny since about midway through the first game. We had a little bit of rain kind of passed to our north earlier, but we only saw a few sprinkles. Other than that, we've been pretty dry here tonight. Here's the 2-1. Gilliland gets a chopper up the middle. Griesel at shortstop, not able to get to it. Green misplays. That will be an error that results in 2 runs scoring. As the first one, an RBI off the single by Tucker Long as Chase Thompson scores. And then an E8 brings in Dalton Dowd from third. And it is all Ottumwa here in the first. It's 10-0, Dylan.
It's 10-0 and 0 outs so far. Green has misplayed a couple balls here in a row, so he's got a couple errors here tonight. There really isn't much to say except for either missing the strike zone or hitting bats. It's about where we're at here tonight. And then a pass ball here, and the runner will advance to second base.
So that runner is Tucker Long at second base. And the count at 2-1 is Larkin, a fielder's choice. Picked up an RBI and a run scored this inning. As Gilliland, the second pitcher in the inning, and the Bobcats, like Dylan alluded, not recording it out. Out there in right field, misplayed, an error by Ricken, as that will get Long over to third base. And aboard is Larkin on the E9. So another error in the inning, 3 errors.
I have it as 4 errors.
4 errors, okay.
So I have 4 errors. We have, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, 4 walks, and 2 hit batters.
Quinn Larson is the DH here in game number 2. And he's batting the 4-hole. He has runners on the corners as he faces Gilliland. Right-handed pitcher delivering the left-handed batter outside. A ball, 1-0.
One of the things really difficult as you're seeing some errors in the outfield is they've been out there a long time. And when you have walks, you have hit by pitch, you kind of lose the momentum, lose the feel for the game because baseball's so much.
Oh, you fall asleep.
Yeah.
I played right and left in high school, and When my pitchers were not hitting the zone, I was falling asleep, man. I was talking to other guys.
You were calling the game. You had a headset on out there.
Pop up behind home plate on the 2-0. It's a 2-1 as Larson fouls that one off as he got jammed inside.
Yeah.
That's when, we used to goof around. We were not, at Armstrong Ringstead, we were not the top-notch baseball team you've come to expect from me. So, driven right back up the middle. This misplays Green. He will have it sail over his head as Larson drives it to deep center field. In from third is Tucker Long. From first to third goes Larkin. It's a stand-up double for Quinn Larson.
And you don't see Green really misplay going back too often. He read that wrong, kind of got concrete shoes there for a second, and then was able to go track it down off the bounce.
So another run scoring there makes it 11-0 now. Ottumwa Bulldogs in the top of the first inning.
This is a first for me, and it's not a good first. I have not seen this many runs before now in any level of baseball I've ever watched.
Dawson Weller stands in, hit by a pitch and an RBI this inning.
As a pitcher, can you ask for a better start from Weller? Weller's up here batting the second time as tonight's starting pitcher.
He takes a ball. It's a 2-0. Now I would think he would be getting cold, and hopefully that would result in the Bobcats scoring some runs. But that's what you got to think. Like, hey, can we get some outs here so I can go pitch before I get cold and need to have a bunch of warm-up pitches? Weller takes a ball. It's 3-0.
And you just got to wonder what Hankey really has over there. I know Taty's pitched some, and from what I understand, Stupp and Dutton are not options right now as another walk for Weller.
And that will load up the bases. So Weller hustles down to first. Larkin's at third, Larson's at center, and Dawson Weller is at first.
Yeah, our producer pointed out there's a little bit of warming up out in the third baseline for Ottumwa, so I don't know.
Yeah, Weller
are they calling
is
for
on first.
Are they calling for the arm before for the relief pitcher before
the
starting pitcher has pitched?
We went so long in the first, we decided not to start our starting pitcher. Yeah, wow.
Well, I will say Trayton's ball does have some movement to it. It does flick around some.
Rominger is at the plate. He has a 2-0 count from Gilliland. And missing there, it's quickly 3-0. 3 RBI on a triple. He scored a run. Did Rominger on his first at-bat of the night. The 3-0 misses outside. And that is a bases-loaded walk. So Rominger will pick up his 4th RBI of the night, and it's still the first inning. What's the record for RBI in an inning, Dylan? It's got to be close.
Well, I think did Tatis once the elder hit 2 grand slams in an inning?
Yeah, he did, I believe.
Yeah. So I'm thinking it's got to be somewhere in that 8 runs.
Yeah. Brady Larkin scores on the bases-loaded walk. Gilliland fires home to the 7-hole hitter, and Jace Mitchell, it's a first pitch ball. Jace Mitchell walked, stole a bag, and scored a run this inning. As with that last RBI walk right there as Rominger got aboard, making it 12-0. A long foul ball down the left field line by Jace Mitchell, well out of play. Makes it a 1-1 count.
Playing in on the corners for the Bobcats, just trying to get an out wherever they can.
That is for sure. Low and outside, 1-1 to the right-handed batter from Gilliland.
I will say I am a little intrigued. They're playing close on the corners, which is a little bit interesting. I understand the bunt or whatnot, but I would just be playing for that single out as that's crushed.
Laced down the left field line about a foot fair as this will drive in 1 run. Another run will come in. They're going to round the 3rd run as clearing the base pass is Jace Mitchell, a stand-up double with 3 RBI right there for the Ottumwa Bulldogs. And that now makes it 15-0 Bulldogs here in the top of the first inning. Rominger, Weller, and Larson all score this inning. Wow, things are out of control.
Yeah, it's that's why I get paid for the color commentary. I'll just say yes, you are correct. Not much else to say. 15 runs on 4 hits is 4 or 5 hits is a real tough night.
Gilliland slings that one into Andrew Evans, who walked and scored this inning. It's 1-0. Gilliland on the outer half for a strike to Evans. 1-1 the count. It's turned into a really nice night, by the way. I mean, you know.
The only thing I don't like about this night is the score. It's a gorgeous night, good company.
Mm-hmm.
We've got music playing here at the complex.
Mm-hmm. A lot of songs about rabbits, and I don't think it was Eddie Rabbit either.
No. Put the Easter Bunny in a new light.
Yeah, things I learned tonight, you know. 2-1 on the way. Hammer back up the middle. This will be caught. Good play by Stelzer at second base as Andrew Evans got a little bit jammed inside. I thought that was going to clear him, but good read by Stelzer. And that is out number 1 as the Bulldogs bat around for a second time now in the inning.
And it's interesting, Evans is over there. I think he's looking to see if there's a crack in his bat or something, the way it came off.
It looked like that was more well hit than what I thought it was. As, an interesting way that one came off the bat here as we see that. And then, just Stalzer, a nice play right there. Almost got the runner at second, trying to go behind him. A pop-up on an 0-1 play. This one will sneak out of play near the Bulldog dugout. And off the concession stand and rolls over just away from the KFJB van. I saw a kid looking at that. I said, "You're impressed by this van, aren't you?" He just smirked. I don't know what that meant.
I know what he meant. The smirk meant we need fat heads of Brandon and Dylan on the side of the van for all sports broadcasts.
Something like that.
Trayton's made a couple good pitches, gotten the ball off the...
Back in the count to Thompson, 0-2, but it is lifted into left center. That will get down. Green not reading things well here in game number 2. Misplayed right there. It won't be an error, but it is a single for Chase Thompson as he moves Jace Mitchell over to third. It's probably the sun. Has got to be a little bit of it. It's that time of night where that sun is right in the backdrop and that ball coming off makes it hard to see.
Yeah, this is the time of night if we're calling a softball game, we're staring right into the sun. It's very difficult. It's peeking up right over the roundhouse, and it's just shining that white backdrop with a really bright sun.
I'm calling it. Ottumwa will not bat around again, but they are batting around for
we're getting to
the third time now.
We're getting to the
lineup.
Top of the order for the third time. That's pretty impressive.
Dalton Dowd stands in, hammered into right field. Let's see if Ricken can get to it. He's underneath of it. Out number 2 as Dowd is retired on the fly out to right field. And that will bring up Tucker Long, who's had an involved night, an RBI, 2 runs scored, and he's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. And no, that's not a game night. That's just the first inning, Dylan.
Yeah, and Dowd did fly out to right, but it did end up bringing home Mitchell to make it 16-0, 17-0.
Yeah, 17-0 as he picks up that RBI right there. Driving in, Jace Mitchell from third base. Ball gets away. That will allow the runner and Chase Thompson to take second.
Kusero did a nice job of at least blocking that ball with his chest so it didn't get to the backstop, but didn't have a chance to throw down the runner at second.
So it's a ball to the left-handed batter and Tucker Long, 1-0. As Gilliland out of the stretch, fires home on the outer half. That will knot it up at a 1-1 count. This one's going to be hammered into right center field. This one at the warning track, hits off the bottom of the wall, driving in the runner from second. Chase Thompson is in. Over to third, the throw comes late and safe as Tucker Long with a triple and an RBI.
Tucker slid for fun. He could have stood
there was
up.
No need.
So sometimes I love to go on a baseballreference.com deep dive, and I was looking at Albert Bell numbers from the mid-90s, and his OPS was one of the most incredible things I've ever saw. OPS is on-base percentage plus slugging. He was at almost 1,300. Tucker Long on the year, almost 1,300. The kid can absolutely rake.
Chase Thompson scores, makes it 17-0. Now a ball drilled into left field. It is now 18-0. Tucker Long driven in by Braden Larkin, as that will be his first hit of the inning and his third at bat. And it is a double RBI picked up for Braden Larkin.
And you can tell out in left field, you saw just Schoenfelder had his glove up. He could not see that off the bat right away. He was really struggling.
Nobody's got the eye black. Nobody's got sunglasses out there. That was me. It was the eye black and the sunglasses.
That may have been a fashion statement for you after hearing how much you paid attention out there.
It was a little bit of a fashion statement, but it also did help to see some of those balls. First pitch strike to Quinn Larson right there as he has 2 runs scored, an RBI, and a double this inning as he bats for the third time in the top of the first. Thanks for joining us tonight. For just tuning in. No, the Bobcats have not batted yet. We're still in the top of the first, down 18-0.
It's been a tough night,
to say the least. Check swing on a pitch on the outer half, and it will be called a strike to Quinn Larson, 0-2. 2 down in the top of the first inning. We'll see if Gilliland, the second pitcher of the inning, can get out of it here. And he'll get a foul ball. So Gavin Freiberg goes no innings, gives up 2 hits and 8 runs. As we close the book on him tonight, Trayton Gilliland has gotten 2 outs in his appearance out of the bullpen, but he's given up 10 runs as he fires home here. Gets a chopper right side of the infield, sneaks between first and second. Misplayed nearly by Ricken, but he does get it back in quickly as he kind of bobbles it around there. Yep. Over to third base goes Larkin, as Quinn Larson is aboard with a single right there on the right side of the infield.
It has been a tough go. Just looking at, I've got 9 hits, 18 runs so far for Ottumwa. But then you add in the errors. Bobcats have 4 errors. The walks have been plenty, a couple hit batsmen.
Dawson Weller at the plate, and initially slated to start the game, but we're really not sure.
We've seen
we've had ourselves nearly, what are we at? Almost a 40-minute top of the first inning?
We're right about little over 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's an extended cut sitcom so far in the first period. First inning. We'll get there. It's Stanley Cups. It's
what
NBA
game is going on?
It's NBA Finals and Stanley Cup.
0-2 drilled down the left field line. This is just going to be foul as it hits off the bottom of the wall by Dawson Weller. A long strike, 0-2 count.
Yeah, I got Stanley Cup and NBA Finals on the mind.
Mm-hmm. Who's winning? Anything?
So we're hearing a little bit like that is kind of no accessories for the Bobcats.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. Dawson Weller swings and misses on a pitch upstairs, as that will be out number 3 as Trayton Gilliland gets a strikeout. 3 times, almost 3 times full through the lineup in the first inning. It is 18-0 Ottumwa. The Bulldogs, a howling effort. Bobcats come to bat when we come back.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce reminds you that when you shop locally, you are benefiting members of our community and adding to our local community overall. You'll find local business owners are generally more knowledgeable, provide better service, and even know their customers by name. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce exists to be an advocate for our business community. Membership in the Chamber benefits your business and adds to the strength of our advocacy efforts. For more information on shopping locally and Chamber membership, go to Marshalltown.org.
18-0 Ottumwa on top of the Marshalltown Bobcats as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Kuzaro, Dutton, Griesel due up. Let's get a scoreboard update, all brought to you by Central State Bank.
Your Bobcat softball team had a heartbreaker, lost 5-4, gave up 3 runs in the top of the 7 to the Bulldogs in the first game of the Twin Bill. And then in game number 1 here, the Bobcat baseball team lost 19-0 to the Ottumwa Bulldogs after 5 innings. Norwalk beats Pella 3-0. Dike New Hartford trails Wapsie Valley 5-0 in the first. Fort Dodge leads Des Moines Lincoln 6-1 going into the 7th for finals. Urbandale beats Southeast Polk 6-5 in baseball, and Urbandale beats Southeast Polk in softball 9-5. And again, the Jaguars of Ankeny Centennial take care of Waukee 11-1.
Looks like it will not be Dawson Weller to get the start here tonight.
I've never
can't
seen
believe
that.
it. Is that a 20? I think that's a 25. If so, it's Keaton Haynes who would be the pitcher for the Ottumwa Bulldogs tonight. Ottumwa, a little bit hard to read their uniforms, Dylan.
Well, it's hard to read the uniforms, and then when you just change everything, it makes it even more difficult.
It does, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to do my best.
We already used 3 innings to track
my scorecard,
1 inning of hitting.
I mean,
it's tough.
The top of the first inning alone ruined my scorecard, but now I don't know what's going on out there. And it's 29, not 28. So 29 is the starting pitcher in Mason Gravitt. So there you go.
All righty.
That's how Gravitt's night's going. He didn't know he was getting the start. Maybe he did. We just didn't know.
Waller, you're going to go an inning unless you score 18 runs in the top of that inning. Then we might have to go to the bench.
And then we might have to go to you.
My goodness.
All right, so Gravitt getting the start here in game number 2 as, well, of course, it's his first. No, he's pitched this year. 7 1/3 innings pitched coming into this one.
Nice.
As Kuzaro drills one into deep right center. That gets all the way to the warning track. Kuzaro digging for third. He's going to get there standing up. He does dive late. But it is a triple for Kuzaro.
Yeah, Bobcats have 8 extra base hits on the year. Half of them are by Caleb Kuzaro. He's been that nice spark at the top of the lineup, second in the team in batting average. It really is going to take a heroic effort for the Bobcats just to keep clawing back and see if Taven Dutton can bring in the run.
So Mason Gravitt getting the start here in game 2. 7 1/3 innings pitched. He's not giving up a run. He has a 1-0 record and 6 strikeouts. So you're down 18-0, and now you're facing one of Ottumwa's better pitchers.
And then you get Taven Dutton's first pitch swing, got in front of it, and ended up flying out to the foul line in left field, where Chase Thompson chased it down. 1 down. Kuzaro remains at third base.
Sam Griesel standing in there in the 3-hole as he'll bat against Gravitt and take an off-speed pitch. Look like a curveball for a strike. It is 0-1.
And it looks like the scoreboard's even broken out there. It's just zeros up there.
Righty versus righty in the matchup on the inner half for a strike. Quickly 0-2 from Gravitt to Sam Griesel. Runner at third and Kuzaro. 1 down. Here at the bottom of the first inning, and a pitch outside trying to get Griesel chasing, misses, make it a 1-0. Gravitt on the mound. Maneri is catching, we know that for sure. And Rominger is in center field. Kuzaro comes home on the ground out, 5-3, but it does pick up an RBI. And a run scored as Caleb Kuzaro, leading off the inning with a triple, ends up scoring on a ground out by Sam Griesel, who picks up that RBI. And the Bobcats on the board, trailing 18-1.
One thing I want to talk about a little bit is you talk about the attrition issues the Bobcats have had. Griesel and Kuzaro have been on this team throughout high school, and I remember when we first started calling their games, they were not hitting .08 at that time. Now they've both become decent hitters at that high school level, and the more you can get just those couple kids, maybe in the next year or two we have, a whole lineup of kids that have grown up in this, that's when the Bobcats can really start to compete night in and night out.
Like they used to just a few years back. I mean, it's hard to believe that, very winning seasons were removed from just 2019 and 18 were very good years.
Yeah, we're less than a half dozen years away from our last state championship or state tournament team here in Marshalltown.
3-1 count. Xander Stupp standing at the plate, pops one up. This one will get out of play into the stands. And I don't know why you wouldn't move a little bit more out of the way there. That one deflected and nearly nailed somebody, but
they like to live on the edge.
Well, that's true.
Sometimes you got to get that adrenaline going just to know you're alive.
Although that one hit right by them, and they still didn't flinch as hard as you as a foul ball into the fence. Full count delivery is Xander Stupp facing the right-handed pitcher, and that one just outside. Stupp will work a walk. As the Bobcat faithful happy about that one as Gravitt issues a walk. This will bring up Dale Green, the center fielder, batting in the 5-hole for the Bobcats tonight.
Dale had a tough top of the first, really struggled with the sun, just reading the ball. But he does lead the Bobcats in hitting almost 290.
Ball overthrown at first base on a check back. This will get Stupp to second. Stupp's maybe thinking about third. No, he'll hold up there. So in E1 on the missed throw by Gravitt gets Xander Stupp over to second base as Dale Green is standing in, still waiting the first pitch of the at-bat. 2 down, bottom of the first inning, as it's 18-1, Bobcats trailing the Ottumwa Bulldogs.
It's all stacked against them so far in this first inning, but I really have liked this bottom of the first. If you're just looking at executing through some small ball, Bobcats have done a really nice job. Kuzaro with that big hit right out of the chute with a leadoff triple. Dutton wasn't able to bring him in, but Griesel picked him up, and then Stupp getting to second base to give Dale Green a chance to knock him in.
Green a laser to Boney at third, and he makes the catch. That's out number 3 as Green is retired. Looked like that one was going to get through and maybe drive it a run, but the Bobcats only muster 1 in the inning. We go to the second with the Bobcats trailing by 17 on KFJB-TV.
The equity in your home is power. Power to remodel your home. Take a memorable vacation. Add a deck or patio. Lennox Employees Credit Union can help you unleash the financial power you possess with a home equity loan. Consolidate debt, fund a student loan, or pay for a wedding. The loan process is easy. See Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. Online at lennoxecu.com.
Today's game on KFJB-TV is brought to you by Jensen Ford, with you every mile along the way. Legends American Grill, Marshalltown Steakhouse. Lennox Employees Credit Union, lennoxecu.com. Marshalltown Area Chamber, Marshalltown, more than ever. Marshalltown Community College, a step in the right direction.
Gravitt is back, or Gilliland is back out for another inning of work as he completed the first inning for the Marshalltown Bobcats, but they en route to an 18-run inning for the Ottumwa Bulldogs, down 17 as the Bobcats clawed back 1 run in that difference. So it'll be Gilliland back out on the mound as he'll face off against the Ottumwa batters. as Javen Rominger as well as Jace Mitchell, Andrew Evans, we believe, are going to come to the plate here, although we just saw Ottumwa Bulldog head coach John Yeager out giving a plethora of changes to the umpires. So get your scorecard if you're keeping track with us at home, and get the whiteout ready, Dylan, because it's that kind of night here, folks.
Yeah, this is a crazy scorecard. So
crazy, man.
A lot of ink being spilled here tonight.
Huh.
Bick is super happy. They're in business.
I've got a Pilot G207.
I actually have a Sharpie S gel in red and a Sharpie S gel in purple.
I like the thin gels. You know what I mean? You don't want those wide gels because then things smudge, you know?
That's where we are, folks. It's
somebody's at the plate, Dylan.
Yeah, I'm trying to...
It's not Rominger.
It's
number 10. Number 10 is Tyler Schaus. And it's an out. Ball caught on the left side over there by the shortstop in Greasel. One away.
And that's number 10. Okay.
Mm-hmm. 10. 10's a guy. They got a guy out there. Tyler Schaus. I believe was he a running back?
We only played him for 2 quarters, so I don't remember.
That was
some
of the best quarters of the football season.
Yes, it was. That was electric.
We had a hook and ladder.
Yeah.
We had a halfback pass, as I believe that was Jace Mitchell retired on the pop-up to Kuzaro behind home plate for out 2.
Yeah, nice pitch. Got him to pop up.
That was Jace Mitchell, by the way.
Yeah, it was nice. Nice to see the same guy in there. Now we have number...
Yeah, now we got a different guy. They got another guy to replace the other guy who initially replaced the other guy, as Griffin Johnston will stand in. No relation to Peter.
Or my nephew's actually Griffin.
Okay.
See? But
I don't watch Family Guy, but I just know that's the...
You see there, you get the...
See that replay?
Smash to the left field, and it's going to be foul.
That is going to be foul for a strike on Griffin Johnston. Johnson? Is that you?
We do appreciate everyone's patience. We are trying to work within the confines
of our scorecard.
Of the scorecard, and we did not bring a whiteboard here tonight.
I'm out on the 7-hole. Nobody else can come in the 7-hole tonight. We are out. Cross that one out on your bingo card at home. 1-1 upstairs, and it's going to be a 2-1 count to Griffin Johnston. What do you know about this guy? Is he a guy?
He's a guy, right-handed hitter, and we're going to dig in. Griffin deserves he deserves
the limelight. Griffin Johnston, what are you doing this year? 167, does have an RBI.
He's just got 6 at-bats. This is 7th. Well, it won't actually be his 7th official at-bat as he gets the walk. He's a junior. 2 games played here tonight. Does have a single to his name and an RBI.
Way to go, Griffin. You got a board, brah.
Love to see Trayton just lock it down. This is for
2 down in the inning, by the way.
Yeah,
and we got another guy batting now for Chase Thompson.
All right.
So
Nolan Heller.
Yeah, any relation
Nolan
to Rick?
Heller. Let's say he is. Just for discussion purposes, he's got 8 at-bats on the year.
Yeah.
Played in 8 games.
He could be related to Rick Heller. But is Rick Heller from Eastern Iowa somewhere, I thought? Rick Heller is forever to me the UNI
Were you
baseball
at UNI
coach.
when they closed down the baseball?
Yeah, it was actually my last year of school at UNI.
And then he went off to Indiana State, who had a really good program.
Yeah, and then now
came
he's at
to
Iowa.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss by Noah Heller.
Also a really good guy. We were doing
down to earth.
We were doing a baseball-themed fundraiser for Iowa Heartland Habitat for Humanity. And while they were playing down in Florida, he sent us an intro and a welcome with he and his assistant actually sent it to us so we could use it during the fundraiser.
Wow.
So 2 thumbs up when it comes to Coach Heller for me.
Well, I know you're a big fan of the 2 thumbs up. 3-2 count to Noah Heller. And he's going to work a walk.
That's
and
tough.
Back-to-back walks by Gilliland. So we got a couple pop-outs to begin the inning with 2 outs. And now 2 runners aboard as this will bring up the top of the lineup. Should be Dalton Dowd, but we are in Dowd. I don't know. Make up.
Who do we got here?
The lineup is in Dowd.
Yes, it is. Top to bottom, they can rake, and I think it
is Dowd.
It's still him. So
it's still that guy, Dalton Dowd.
I want to talk to Coach Hankey afterwards, but Gilliland had a good second inning, and how much different it is your first time out on the mound when you come in bases are loaded with nobody out and so many runs.
That's brutal.
So you almost, as a coach, are you looking at can you really tell a lot in that situation versus him coming out in the second inning and with nobody on really made a couple really good pitches. Right now he's lost the strike zone.
2 down, top of the second. It is a 2-0 count to Dalton Dowd. Ottumwa with runners at first and second. And they are currently leading 18-1 against your Marshalltown Bobcats. Gilliland checks out the runner at second, fires home. And that one's going to miss on the outer half. 3-0 to Dalton Dowd. As 24 is on deck. Dylan, get your scorecard ready. Here's 3-0, and that's going to be 3 straight walks. So Gilliland looked like he was going to have a promising second, and now walks the bases loaded. And it brings up number 24, Landon Boney. Tell me about this guy, Dylan.
So Landon Boney has actually played defensively. We got to
believe
talk
he played
on the mound
third.
here.
Yeah,
he was playing third base. So he's played in 8 games, only 7 at bats so far. But you look at a kid that gets DH for. In those 7 at bats, he has 3 hits, 3 runs. So he's been productive when he's had the opportunity, with one of those hits being a double. So he's a kid that has had those opportunities.
And we have a pitching change. 18-1 in the top of the second. 2 outs. Bases loaded for Ottumwa. Pinch hitters into the game. New pitcher is into the game for the Bobcats as well. When we come back right here on your home for the Cats, KFJB-TV.
It's Adventure On for Marshalltown Scouting. Adventures like backpacking, ziplining, rock climbing, canoeing, swimming, and more. Survival skills for a scout's greatest adventure, life. Scouts give back to the community. Marshalltown Scouts have provided over 1 million hours of service to our community in our 70-plus year history. Scout leaders are highly trained in Scream. Parents are a huge part of Scouting, too. Scouting provides unique opportunities available nowhere else. To learn more about Scouting in Marshalltown, go to iascouts.org. Adventure On.
Top of the second inning, 18-1 our score, 2 outs and a pitching change as Trayton Gilliland, his night is done, made his first appearance of the season with an inning and 2/3, gave up 10 or potentially 13 as 3 more runners are on base. They could be attributed to him. It will be Bennett Ricken into the game, who closed out game number 1 here tonight.
So as we do that, shout out to Ottumwa native, current Marshalltown football coach, Adam Goodvin.
Yeah.
Sending me this. Rick Heller from Eldon, Iowa. Cardinal High School.
Google, or you knew that?
I assume he knew it. He's a good Hawkeye fan. Big Hawkeye fan.
Where
I
at
saw
Iowa?
Him showing Eldon, Iowa.
Yeah,
so I'm showing his kids down in Iowa City. So
that's out east, isn't it?
Don't ask me questions. You know where I'm looking bewildered where Eldon, Iowa is. So, Coach Goodvin, next time send me a map link as well if you could.
Yeah, that's actually down there by Ottumwa. So I'm sure that Heller's got to be related. Shirt-tail relation, Dylan.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. Sounds southeast of Ottumwa. So I'm sure Mr. Bulldog, former Bulldog, now Bobcat himself.
Well, and really what Coach Goodvin would look at the new girls wrestling coach, now a new assistant, came to us via Ottumwa, so he's
got a
just
pipeline.
bringing that pipeline up. Bulldog to Bobcat.
All right, so Bennett Rickon into the game to pitch as he'll face Landon Boney, who's batting in the 2-hole. In fact, probably Adam Goodvin only watching this game here tonight because it is the Bulldogs. He's the all-time leading victor against his dad.
Yes.
In the Goodvin household.
You think there's an alma mater, Ty? I think he just enjoys
seeing a good Bulldog
good
beatdown.
That's right.
But only for 2 quarters.
That's only for 2 quarters.
Yes.
Why stretch it out?
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah. The gunshots actually ended the Bulldogs' misery that night, really,
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. But
we
Bulldogs
still got
here
Sonic.
tonight.
We still got Sonic that night.
And Todd paid for it.
Yeah, Todd did pay for it. The 2-1 misses makes it a 3-1 count. As Boney is at the plate. Tucker Long originally batting in this spot. He went 3 for 3 with a triple and 2 singles and 2 RBIs and 3 runs scored. And that was in 1 inning.
1 inning.
That is impressive. And now we see a bases-loaded walk. As coming in from third is Griffin Johnston. And he makes it now a 19-1 game.
This is tough.
And that is 4 walks in a row, Dylan.
That's a lot of walks.
Count them up. And I believe we got another guy. I just heard the other guy say that there's a lot of guys hitting here tonight.
There's just a lot.
We're not the only ones.
I don't know
Folks,
if everyone playing here tonight was properly enrolled at that high school. I feel like they're starting to take people out of the stands.
Dylan Forney is now batting.
Well, shout out to his parents. Great at coming up with names, that's for sure.
Dylan.
I love it again. I got another sent that the Rick Heller from Eldon, I believe Dave Adlin sent me that one. People
love the Heller family.
I do. And the
us.
KFJB-TV broadcast. The two go hand in hand.
Hey, what do you know? Another walk. We got 5 in a row here, and that brings up Noah Heller as he scores. So, Rick Heller, thanks for watching tonight.
That's right.
We hope you're doing well.
And let's fix
Did they
that.
make it to the regionals? What happened?
Our bullpen was a travesty.
Really?
It was not good.
Okay.
So that really was it, and they were not as potent offensively as they needed to be with a bullpen that bad.
Yeah, Quinn Larson, no change. He is still batting in the 4-hole. He is at the plate. If you want to, send us your message in the live chat. Show us your scorecard.
That's right. Or a picture with Rick Heller.
Ball hit to deep right field. That's going to get down. 1 run is in to score. Another comes in. It's a stand-up double for Quinn Larson, as that will pick him up 2 RBI. And Ottumwa is all up 22-1. They're making up for what they didn't score in the football game earlier this year.
Yeah, they said, you only need 2 quarters, we'll take 3 innings. This has been an absolute drubbing.
Dowd, as well as Boney, score, making it 22-1 here at the top of the second. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Support what we do here at KFJB-TV and our coverage. And be sure to turn on those alerts. Get upcoming game alerts as we see one drilled to right center. That gets down. And Dylan Forney scores, making it 23-1. As Quinn Larson moves over to third, it's an RBI for Weller. Dawson Weller is aboard.
It is the second inning.
It is the top of the second, Dylan. Very good at observations. 23-1, and now 24-1, as this will bring in the runner at third and Quinn Larson. as it's an RBI for Tyler Schaus as he bats for the second time this inning as he gets a single and an RBI right there.
I will say Green really did a nice job there. In that first inning, he got ate up a couple times, charging too hard. That time he allowed it to come to him, was able to hold him to a single and not allow the runner to advance from second to third.
Interesting enough, we started out this inning with back-to-back outs.
Yep.
We've been playing with 6 runs have scored with 2 outs.
And nobody on.
Yeah. So Jace Mitchell standing in. It's a 1-1 count. As Bennett Ricken fires in, and that one's high outside. Is it Melody or I'm trying to think. Luke Stolzer's mom, is it Melody or Melanie? I can't remember. I met her last Friday. She said she's a big fan of us. Just passing that along.
I appreciate that immensely. Thank you very much. We enjoy doing it.
Maybe somebody can help me out with the whole Melody.
I feel like if you're not real strong on that, maybe
Luke Stolzer's mom, everybody.
Maybe say that in between innings as we go to the middle of the second.
So an out recorded as we get out of the inning, and I get out of
a jam
that I backed myself into right there as Jace Mitchell is retired as Ottumwa bats around for the second inning in a row. Bobcats come to bat when we come back as 24-1 Bulldogs right here on KFJB-TV.
Legends American Grill is Marshalltown Steakhouse. Ribeyes and sirloins, aged, hand-cut, and served with your choice of 2 of Legends' legendary sides and a dinner roll. If you are a prime rib fan, Legends has prime rib every Friday and Saturday starting at 4 p.m. With 3 sides to choose from, it's chef-seasoned and slow-cooked to tender, juicy perfection. Try Legends prime rib, and you'll know why it's Marshalltown's favorite. Legends American Grill is Marshalltown Steakhouse.
Up on the Marshalltown Hy-Vee scoreboard, it's 24-1 here as the Bobcats trailing the Ottumwa Bulldogs. Let's get a scoreboard update all brought to you by Central State Bank, Dylan.
And this scoreboard update is for Maggie Stolzer. Thank you to those that have helped. I've got multiple people in my text group.
Melody and Mandy, and it was Maggie.
I knew it all along.
Wow.
Maggie, thank you so much for having
I'm here
grace
to help
for
with
Brandon.
the whole Pan.
All righty, we've got score update.
Come on, that's Step Brothers.
The Jaguars won 11-1 over Waukegan Game 1. They lead 4-2 in the third inning. Indianola defeats Newton 11-4 in Game 1. And then in Game 1 on the other side of the complex, Bobcats gave up 3 in the top of the 7th and fall to the Ottumwa Bulldogs in softball action. 5-4, Bobcats dropped to 7-11, but they're playing the end of the twin bill, and hopefully we can get an update from that game and bring it to you here live.
Why are you ignoring me? Chopper back up the middle, and Bobcats try to get a runner aboard, but cannot. Good hustle down the line by J.J. Schoenfelder. Just beat out for the 6-3 ground out. 1 away in the bottom of the second inning. This will bring up Luke Stolzer. Hey, I wonder what his mom's name is.
It's Maggie.
Good job.
I
knew you knew everybody.
This is what I need to know. We have players of the game, brought to you by Opa Grill. Delicious all the time.
Fans of the game? I knew that's
because it's a 3-way. You have Kylie Leisure, Coach Goodvin, or you have Dave Adlin. 1 of 3. It's a hat trick. We got the Stanley Cup going on. A hat trick of fans. Thank you so much.
Wow.
You're keeping this broadcast on the rails here tonight as the Bobcats down 24
on the air
1.
because we care. Here's the last play right there. As his good play over at first base as Schoenfelder was retired. 1-1 counts to Stolzer as he ducks underneath the pitch by Gravitt. So 2-1 is the count. I don't even know who's in the field. I mean, I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to be a good broadcaster, but this is one of those nights where baseball is literally one of the sports that is baseball and softball, very hard when it comes to all the substitutions and the reentries and all that.
Well, you and I talked about a softball game a couple weeks ago with high school substitution rules, it is near impossible. The work that like Butch and PA announcers do, along with just the novel that umpires have to carry around to do all these switches. It's incredible.
3-2 chopper to short. It eats up long, but gets it over to Larkin in time for the 6-3 ground out for round number 2 of the inning. No, you're right, though. I mean, it is a lot of work. I umpired baseball for about 5 years, baseball and softball. And, yeah sometimes with the reset, you would have to really jot things down well, because if you don't, you're going to be like, wait, did that guy already use his re-entry or not? As at the plate, Garrett Tatey, as he is DHing tonight for Bennett Ricken, who got the start in right field. Take a look at that last play for the Ottumwa Bulldogs. 8 up long, but gets it over to first in time.
A nice dig over there as well. I do think we should work as that goes right back up the middle.
Slow chopper, could be another 6-3, and it will be to get out of the inning. No, safe. The throw pulled him off the back, so Tatey's going to be aboard over there at first base. What are we written?
I'm going E6.
Yeah, that's what they put up on the scoreboard as well. So Bobcats did get a hit to begin the game with Caleb Kuzaro, who had a triple and a run scored in the first. As we are now in the bottom of the second inning, Cats trailing 24-1. As Gavin Freiberg was initially supposed to bat here, as he was the starting pitcher, but straight-up substitutions. As Ashton Wright now stands in, chops one to third, and eats up Boney over there and sneaks into left, so that'll be an E5. And Tatey stands at second, and Wright now at first.
This is what I'll say. The defensive pitching side has not been good tonight, and that's just it's apparent. But I have liked the approach in each of the bottom half of the innings. They've been able to get on base, move runners over, put people in scoring position.
Off-speed pitch misses outside, low and away to Caleb Kuzaro, who we told you just moments ago that he tripled to lead off the bottom of the first inning and did come in to score a run. At the lone run of the night for the Bobcats. Righty versus righty, pitches in, and Kuzaro lifts it back behind home plate, gets past the press box. Shadow starting to creep into the infield. Home plate still with a little bit of sun, though. Here's the 1-1. As Gravett checks out the runners, fires home outside. And another ball right there, 2-1 count to Kuzaro.
I always think of TLC whenever I hear you say the word creep. That's the song just plays in my head. This is where we're at in the bottom of the second.
Chopper to shorts. Tatey runs in front of it. It's a good play to try to get him off the mark, but long over to Larkin at first. It's the third 6-3 ground out of the inning. Bobcats strand a couple more on base. They trail at 24-1 on KFJB-TV.
Since 1967, Jensen Ford Lincoln has served generations of families around central Iowa. Quality vehicles, professional service, knowledge of our product, that's a part of Jensen. But what's more important to us is a trust that is passed down from every previous generation. Jensen Ford Lincoln wants to serve your family for generations. We want to be there for your first car. We want to be there for your family SUV. And we want to see you drive away in the Mustang you always dreamed of. At Jensen, we want to be here for you now and every mile along the way.
You know, much like our legal system, innocent until proven guilty, we believe that it's going to be Johnston, Heller, and Dowd, but we will believe it once they actually come to the plate, Dylan.
Yeah, exactly. It's been revolving. I think they should have to turn around and yell, "This is my name, this is my number."
At least show the numbers, flash the numbers, make sure everybody knows.
And that is a little bit, we talk about it. I like the charcoal grays. They're a little bit hard. That dark red on that charcoal gray, it's a little bit hard to see.
Griffin Johnston, he batted last inning as he walked and scored a run. Back out for his, he only pitched a third of an inning last inning. but Ricken is back out to pitch for the Bobcats as he finishes up on his final warm-up pitches. Yeah. Coming up after the game, we will name our player of the game, which is all brought to you by Opa Grill in Marshalltown. Greek and traditional favorites. All you have to say, Dylan, is Opa.
I know you guys went there to eat a couple weeks ago. What did you end up grabbing?
We got a gyro.
The gyro is great. And I know we've done it on like just straight up salad, not do the pita.
Yeah.
That's been really good as well.
Production of today's game is all brought to you by the Home Rental Center and Sales Company. Need it? Rent it. Home Rental Center and Sales Company in Marshalltown. All right, so the Bobcats in a major hold, 24-1. It is Griffin Johnston leading off the inning. Old Rick Boy's on deck. Is that what you say, Dylan?
That's right.
Rick's boy. You think Rick Heller's here?
We've got him up for the top of the fourth inning. Rick will join us in studio if we go that far.
The 2-0. It misses low and inside, 3-0. Ricken working quickly, and he's going to hit the outer half for a strike, 3-1.
One thing I'd like to see that maybe we bring into a broadcast, maybe an infographic, I would love to see a visual representation of all the substitution rules at the high school level. Just because we get to see it all the time, and half the time you still are like, okay. And it feels like every single person can have some form of a substitution at any moving point, and it's just super difficult.
Well, like soccer's unlimited.
Yeah.
But baseball, you get a re-entry. And softball's the same way, you get a re-entry. Ball will sneak to the backstop as Guzero trying to backhand that one as Johnston will advance to second.
And because of limited participation numbers just right now, I feel like that's going to continue to grow. It feels like Hankey, they're working at lower levels, seeing bigger numbers at the lower levels.
Yeah.
Is that we'll see that grow, but we don't have a lot of we don't have the bench size to be able to do a lot of that, sans, having that pinch runner or that DH, but we don't do a lot of re-entries just because of the limited numbers.
So Noah Heller batting for the second time tonight. He walked and scored a run in the second. We're in the top of the third. 3-0 the count from Ricken. Heller's going to lift this one to right field. Ricken saw Ashton Wright come out there in right field as he dives and misses on this one. Runner's going to advance to third base in Griffin Johnston. And Noah Heller with a double right there. And runners in scoring position at second and third.
Yeah, it looked like Ashton got a little bit of a late jump on that. Gave a valiant try out there. Came up empty. And the preamble comes up. Endowed with inalienable rights to hit the baseball.
Leadoff batter swings and misses on that one, and a first pitch strike from Ricken. Ricken working out of the stretch, comes home, and that one's going to be a strike on the outer half, so Ricken with a nice job to work quickly here and get a favorable count to try to get the first out of the inning. 0-2 on the way, upstairs, 1-2 up on the Marshalltown Hy-Vee scoreboard. Bobcats fell in game number 1 tonight, 19-0. Brandon Lewis still in those alongside me. Thanks so much for joining us here on KFJB-TV tonight. Drilled right back up the middle. Griesel gets the man off the bag. A double play right there as retired at second is Noah Heller. Rick is fuming back at home as Dowd is out on the line out to shortstop.
Yeah, and you look at, we've been talking about the Opa Grill player of the game. Sam, there with a great defensive play, doubles him up, has that double play there. Did have the lone RBI of the night for the Bobcats, driving in Caleb Kusero in the first inning.
So Griffin Johnson still stands at third, but 2 outs now on the double play is Griesel. Just a beautiful play as we look at the replay here as that one drilled right back up the middle. Makes the catch, tags the bag at 2. And 2 down. Now a ball lifted to left field. This is going to be over the left fielder's head all the way back to the wall. And Schoenfelder's chasing it. He'll throw it in. A run is in. It's now 25-1 as Griffin Johnston from third base scores off the RBI double by Landon Boney.
Schoenfelder, it may not really show up in the final box score, but he did a nice job of tracking that down before it got to the fence, making sure that stuck to a double.
Dylan Forney now stands in. Left-handed batter facing the right-handed pitcher in Ricken. Chopper right back up the middle. Read by Griesel. Hits his chest, sticks with it, fires to first, sidearmed, and dug out of there by Stupp for out 3 at the top of the third inning. That was a nice play right there defensively for the Bobcats to get out of the third. One more run scores, makes it 25-1. We head to the bottom of the third, and no, they're going to say he was safe.
Oh.
So, not sure if they got together and thought Stupp pulled his foot off the bag.
That's tough.
But apparently he is going to be safe. So,
how did they...
Well, there's another error in my scorecard.
Yeah. Let's see what that does. Got it in front. Why is he safe?
Yeah, that looks like he was out.
He was out by a good half a step.
And Landon Boney's back at second base as well, too. Pop up out of play. So here's a barehanded ball over to first. That went in the dirt, brings it up.
And Stupp didn't have it. He was out by a half a step.
Yeah, half a step.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Pop up out of play on the 0-2. That went into the stands.
May not be a win on the scoreboard, but it's always a winning combination having you in the booth, Brandon.
Thank you.
As I drop my red Sharpie S-Gel pen down the bleachers.
Oh, that's
have to get
no
that
fun.
after the game.
Not like dropping a water bottle out of the press box, though, if you know what I mean.
Oh, that was the greatest moment in Ames history. Brandon Lewis dropping it 2.5 stories off the... And just having a Ames little Cyclone fan just staring daggers
not
at
happy.
him.
I even apologized, and he stonewalled me. The 1-2 is fought off to the backstop by Quinn Larson. And this is not Quinn Larson, Dylan.
It is
number 29.
Number 29.
He's a guy. Mason Gravitt, the pitcher.
It does feel like it's been a full team affair, not just KFJB-TV staff from the cameraman to the production staff, but really Bobcat Nation has come in full force to help us out tonight.
I really feel like we're becoming a Bobcat family. Bobcat Nation, you have really risen up here tonight.
You know, they say that, you're forged in the fire, right?
Yeah. Maggie's at home. I'm sure she's happy we finally got her name right.
That's right. I've got people asking for residual checks for helping out.
Unfortunately, we do not have the ability to add any run to the payroll.
No.
You have to fill out a W-9 before we do that. All right, so that pitch was high, and it looks like we might have another pitching change. 2 down. We're still in the top of the third. I don't know how we should be out.
Well, and I'd still like to know, in certain things, yes, you want it to be straight up, that you're not doing gimmies or whatever, but in no way was that even close to out. And with a 24-run lead, why you switched that call makes zero sense to me.
It's 25-1. We're in the top of the third. Bases loaded for a Ottumwa pitching change for the Bobcats when we come back on KFJB-TV.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Edward Jones financial advisor Zach Wall can help. He'll work with you on an investment strategy for long-term results. Edward Jones can give you the tools and knowledge for a steady approach to hitting your financial targets. Get started by giving Zach Wall a call at 641-752-3017 in Marshalltown or visiting edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Ashton Wright's going to be the new pitcher into the game for the Marshalltown Bobcats, as he was just in right field, as he's going to come in here as a few other defensive changes for the Marshalltown Bobcats, as Garrett Tatey was the DH. He's now going to be catching for the Bobcats. Dylan, what other kind of changes have you seen out there as the Bobcats trailing 25-1 here at the top of the third?
We are all around. There is...
Who's in right?
Right is Schoenfelder. So Kusero went to left. Schoenfelder's in right. And then Tatey's behind the dish, as you said. It looks like Griesel's still at short. Stalzer still at second. Stupp still over at first.
What happened to Ricken?
Ricken went off. He's now on the bench.
So Ashton Wright warming up for the Bobcats. As Wright, just an 8th grader.
Yeah.
And on the season, Ashton Wright, this will be his first appearance as well. So Trayton Gilliland and now Ashton Wright making their season appearances, debuts on the mound. And Dawson Weller, who initially started the night in the 5-hole, is going to hit here in the 5-hole. And Ashton Wright fires in a strike on the first pitch. And the bases are loaded for Ottumwa in the top of the third, leading 25-1. And a 1-1 count here as Weller's at the plate. So, again, bases loaded. Bobcats thought they were out of the inning. It looked like a good play. We looked at the replay, but somehow an out was not recorded as the officials changed their call here in this inning.
That's still a mind-bending decision.
Wright fires home, swing and a miss on the outer half, 2-2.
Ashton's got a really compact delivery. That ball does not, here you see it again, just as you can see, clearly out there going down the line, but right back up the middle.
And they're going to step on second base and force out the runner in Mason Gravitt. And that'll do it for the third. 25-1, Bobcats trailing up on the Marshalltown Hy-Vee scoreboard on KFJB-TV.
At Honest Heating and Cooling, they take comfort seriously. Their latest offering? Smart Integrity Monitoring. Combined with an honest maintenance plan, it takes all the guessing out of home comfort. Their technicians take accurate measurements of all the necessary parameters and deliver you the truth about where your home's comfort stands. If you're not measuring, you're just guessing. That's honest. Get a Smart Integrity Monitoring plan and let the Honest team watch over your home's comfort 24/7. Honest Heating and Cooling.
Time for a scoreboard update. Look around the area. All brought to you by Central State Bank. Dylan, what kind of scores we got out there?
Dyke New Hartford's putting it on Wapsie Valley 13-2 in the fourth. Norwalk leads Pella 3-2 in the second. In game one baseball, Johnston, the Dragons beat the Tigers of Valley 14-5. Southeast Polk, after losing the first game in the doubleheader, is up 1-0 in baseball through 3. And Ankeny Centennial, after winning game one 11-1, is still up 4-2 there in the nightcap.
So if Ankeny Centennial's the Jaguars,
that's right.
Is Johnston really Johnston?
No, because Scott DeYoung never coached there.
Oh, okay.
It's all about Scott DeYoung, one of the best girls basketball coaches in state history.
That is true. He's retired now, I believe.
Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't follow our girls' broadcast, I was
You're missing out.
Little kid at Colonesco when he led Colonesco to multiple state tournaments, including a runner-up finish with Miss Iowa basketball, Missy Miller, who went on to play at Creighton.
Here's the grounder. They got the Bobcats out of the top of the third, as Stalzer was able to tag the bag.
One thing you do have to say is, we said Ashton Wright, first time on the mound here tonight at the varsity level, came up, attacked the zone, got a ground ball, got out of the inning. Really good, just 1/3 of an inning pitch. Didn't mess around, got the out. Nice job for the 8th grader.
Looks like we've got a season debut on the mound for the Ottumwa Bulldogs as Taven Dutton leads off the bottom of the third. as Keaton Haynes is out on the mound. Do not have any stats for him so far this year, so it looks like a season debut for Keaton Haynes as he'll fire in. And right back up the middle by Dutton. That will sneak through, and it will be a base knock. The second hit of the night for the Bobcats as Dutton flew out to left in his first at-bat. A base hit right under the glove of the pitcher in this at-bat.
Yeah, Sam Griesel's coming up. It's hard to say somebody's had a good night in a 25-1 game, but he's had the best of the rest as he does have an RBI so far tonight, has played well defensively.
And now Sam Griesel's going to wear it. Hit by a pitch. So Keaton Haynes gives up a single, a hit by a pitch, and this will bring up Xander Stupp. If you're wondering, Bobcats would have to score 14 to keep playing, right, Dylan?
It's the third inning, so they would need to score 10.
Or 10, yeah, you're right. It's 15 after 3, 10 after 5. Thank you.
All this is math and substitution patterns. That's what these type of games are.
1-0, Xander Stupp will foul it off. Back behind home plate, a 1-1 count now from Keaton Haynes. And Xander Stupp on the season hitting 140, 3 runs, an RBI, 4 of 5 stolen bases on the season. He had a nice hit in game number 1 earlier tonight. 1-1 is lifted into center field. Well hit. And this one will be caught out in center field. For out number 1, as Xander Stupp is retired, as Dutton is at second, Griesel is at first, but Dutton does tag and go to third. So runners on the corners, as Dale Green will now stand in.
Nice job by Dutton reading the center fielder, moving up base. I like that the Bobcats are still looking to execute in that small ball fashion is the way that they're going to play until they develop that middle of the lineup. You're not playing the scoreboard right now. You're playing your plan. You're playing, building a culture to what you want to do.
Green hits one well to left field, backing up the left fielder in Thompson. He's going to make the catch, and Dutton is going to come in. So it's an RBI sacrifice fly by Dale Green for out number 2 of the inning.
So right there, though, that's a big deal. You wonder, okay, is it a big deal that Dutton is paying attention when Stupp hits one into center field and sneaks that base? Well, you go right back, and you get Green to fly out deep. Dutton, just by heads-up baseball, playing the right way, is able to manufacture a run without a base hit.
So 25-2 our score as the Ottumwa Bulldogs are leading this one here tonight at the Marshalltown Baseball Complex. Haynes comes set, fires home, chopper to shortstop. A high hopper, throw to first, and Schoenfelder's going to be out number 3 of the inning. Good play right there by Long over to Larkin. And that will end the game. 25-2 is our final score in Game 2. Bobcats lost 19-0 in Game 1. Drops the Bobcats to 2-19 on the season. As a win here tonight in Game number 2 will improve the record for the Ottumwa Bulldogs to 13-5. We will take a timeout. And be back right after this on KFJB-TV.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
Today's game on KFJB-TV is brought to you by McGregor's Furniture and Mattress. Quality furniture for every room in your home. Pence Appliance and TV. For sales and service of everything appliance, come see the Pence team. Wayward Social, the place for bowling, games, food, and more. Wells Fargo Advisors, Marshalltown. Sports Plus, Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, sportsplusTherapy.com.
Well, we go to the top of the fourth as, the Ottumwa Bulldog announcer said it, like everyone else up here, we thought the game was over.
And I heard it from all the way from Ames. They yelled, fifth quarter in Marshalltown. It's coming to baseball fields near you. Fourth inning, down 23. We're questioning our knowledge of the Iowa High School Athletic Association's baseball rules, apparently.
Yeah. I know softball is 12 after 3. I mean, I'm just saying, in a 23 run lead, I mean, who's really benefiting from this at any point, right?
No one.
No one.
I
still,
I will say maybe Ashton Wright, maybe Ashton just, if we saw how little pitching that happens when you're playing multiple double headers in a week. You only have so many guys that can throw. And
that's where I think you would not want to continue on in
exactly
this lopsided a game. Not only that, but confidence, but pitching and stress on guys of playing a game that's gone almost 2 hours and it's a 23-run lead.
Right.
1-1, pop up to right field. Play by Schoenfelder out there, and that'll be out number 1 of the inning.
Nice job by John out there. He read it well, got depth right away, and then they just snuck up a step early. We've talked about this all year long, but especially with young outfielders, the first thing that you basically do when the ball's off the bat, either you just freeze or more than likely you come up. And we've seen people get burned with it going over their head. John did a nice job of floating back a little bit, getting the read on the ball, and then coming up on it.
So Tyler Schaus leading off the inning with a walk. He stands at first, and the pop-up by Jace Mitchell to right field, 1 away. It's a 1-1 count and right. Throws one right to the backstop. Runner was thinking about taking off, but coaches call for Schaus to come back to first base, and he will as Griffin Johnston stands at the plate with a 2-1 count. Again, if you're just joining us, it's 25-2 in the top of the fourth. Swing and a miss by Johnston, and they say foul. Contact made, and it's a 2-2 count.
With that really compact, everything's like in a phone booth with Wright. He gets good little movement on it, and you can definitely see he's been able to miss bats or not allow them to square up on things. I do know his mom's name is Tracy. I do know that off the top of my head. So
ball's going to miss for ball 4 as Griffin Johnston will be the second walk of the inning by Ashton Wright. As Schaus heads to second base. And this will bring up Noah Heller for the third time tonight. He had a double in his last at-bat. He walked the previous at-bat and scored a run. As he faces right with 1 away in the top of the fourth inning. Takes the first pitch ball outside with 1 out in the top of the fourth. Right, working quickly out of the stretch. And that one out of the glove of Tatey, and runners will hold tight.
Yeah, Tatey has kind of played around here tonight. Started DH, did play a little bit of right field in that first game. Is behind the dish. He has pitched a little bit this year.
2-0, bounce to home plate again. Sneaks past Tatey, 3-0.
The 8th grader is trying to just reach across with the left hand and try to backhand it. Kusero, one thing he does really nicely behind the dish, we talked about it earlier, he's able to move those hips. He's able to get himself squared in front of the ball, and right now Tatey's really struggling to do that. But
Strike called here, so it makes it a 3-1 count as Noah Heller at the plate. And this one is drilled to shortstop. Flip back to second. Get the force there. Double play to get out of the inning. So Noah Heller lines out for out number 2. And off the bag at second, double up is Tyler Schaus for out number 3. As Wright gets out of it, we go to the bottom of the 4th. 25-2. Bobcats trailing on KFJB-TV.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
Today's game on KFJB-TV is brought to you by McGregor's Furniture and Mattress. Quality furniture for every room in your home. Pence Appliance and TV. For sales and service of everything appliance, come see the Pence team. Wayward Social. The place for bowling, games, food, and more. Wells Fargo Advisors. Marshalltown. Sports Plus. Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center. SportsPlusTherapy.com.
25-2 is our score as the Bobcats got out of the top of the 4th inning with this play right there as Griesel caught the ball, flipped it to second for the double up right there as he flipped it to Luke Stalzer for a really nice play to get out of the inning as Ashton Wright on the mound. So we go to the bottom of the 4th with the Bobcats trailing by 23. Stalzer, Tatey, and Ashton Wright will bat this inning. And wouldn't you know it, we have a pinch hitter. As coming into the game to pinch hit for Luke Stalzer, it will be Giancarlo Lopez. Great name.
It is a good name. It's interesting, he batted in game 1, was using the all-teal bat. Here in the second half, he's going black and white.
Big fan of the all-teal bat.
It's pretty slick looking.
Keaton Haynes back out for his second inning of action. A swing did go around, did Lopez. Pitch in the dirt on the inner half, taken by Lopez for a ball, 1-1. There's the 1-1 off-speed pitch for a strike. 1-2. I hear some chatter about thoughts on the scoring limit. All I'm saying is, softball probably has it a little more correct.
Watching this game
15
tonight.
After what I'm hearing is 15 after 4, 10 after 5. I do not remember that from when I was an umpire. I remember 15 after 3, 10 after 5. So,
just my
nevertheless,
my felt experience. Softball is correct. Long live the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union.
Although they do need to kind of get reined in on their postseason charges for streaming, but that's for another episode of Bobcat Athletics.
They're sponsored by Steve Forbes. They like that flat tax.
Yeah.
Right there. It does not change based on.
It is not. No. Here's a chopper over to third base. A throw over to first in time. That'll be a 5-3 ground out for the Bobcat batter is coming up. Pinch hitting was Wyatt Peters as the freshman gets it at bat right there as he is out number 2 of the inning. So Wyatt Peters came to the ballpark tonight wondering, will I get an at-bat here tonight? And he did. Almost got aboard. And now we see another pinch hitter as Oliver Young. Great name.
Yep.
The kids call him Ollie.
Oliver's a solid name. That's a name that can... got plunked in the head.
And Ollie's going to head down to first as he takes that one off the helmet as he looks to be okay. So Oliver Young down to first, hit by the pitch. Yikes, that got everybody to react in the crowd.
He saw it coming, tried to get out of the way, and it plunked him. Good thing that wasn't in the 80s, 90s, because that could have been dangerous.
Yeah. Kuzero will bat as the lineup rolls over to the top, and he'll take inside for a ball 1-0.
We have seen the Bobcats in all 4 innings. Did not score in the second, but they did have multiple base runners. So each inning they've either had multiple base runners or have been able to score. They have runner at first, 2 outs. Kusero, of course, led off the game for the Bobcats with a triple.
You know, I think if you take one off the dome, you should be awarded second.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a different kind of hit by pitch. Kuzero lines one down the right field line. This one is going to be foul. It's a 1-2 count.
I think after this broadcast, we email the Iowa High School
We've got a
Athletic
few
Association.
changes we'd like to recommend.
1, it's 15 after 3. 2, you hit in the dome, you get 2 bases.
Yeah. I agree. We've got some good
I
ideas.
actually think they're both really. We may be joking, but I think they're actually legit good.
Kuzero liner right to first base, and that is a tough out right there to take for out number 3 of the game, and I believe that will in fact do it here tonight, as 25-2 will be our final score. And yes, both teams will shake hands after this one, as the Bobcats do fall to 2-19 now on the season with a loss in game number 2. Bulldogs 2 victories tonight. They now improve their record to 13-5. And we will head to the locker room report coming up next right here on your home for the Cats, KFJB-TV.
When you need a plumber quickly, try Century Plumbing of Marshalltown. We specialize in service plumbing, not new construction or large remodels, so we get to our...
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
You'll find the perfect mattress for you at McGregor's Furniture and Mattress. You choose the firmness, comfort, and support level, all at a great price. McGregor's always has a great selection of sofas, recliners, dining room, and bedroom furniture to help you live and relax in comfort and style. Their staff will help you find just what you're looking for. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown, is open 7 days a week. They're proud to support Bobcat Athletics.
Marshalltown Community College.
Graduation is fast approaching. It's time to think about your future. Marshalltown Community College is the place to start your education. Choose from our many career training programs or earn your AA degree and transfer to a four-year university. MCC is all about choices. Schedule a visit today at MarshalltownCommunityCollege.com.
Marshalltown Community College, a step in the right direction.
Bobcats fall in the doubleheader to the Ottumwa Bulldogs tonight, as you see Colton Hankey talking to his team. 25-2 and 19-0 against the Bulldogs tonight. Dylan, not a whole lot you can say about tonight. A tough night, but definitely some innings that got guys experience here tonight that, you know, could hopefully in a few years, especially eighth graders and freshmen, come to, you know, be some meaningful innings that, you know, help kind of lay some groundwork.
3 things that we can say were good. I'll give you 3. 1, we'll start with the youngest. Ashton Wright, the last inning and a third, he pitched really well, pitched the contact, was able to get outs, did a really nice job. The 8th grader should be proud. The second piece that I think you can like is they did manufacture some runs, highlighted by Taven Dutton. tagging up on 2 separate occasions to score the lone run in the 3rd inning. And then look at the senior leadership. I thought that Sam Griesel and Caleb Kusero both played really well. Sam defensively had his head on a swivel and had two double plays in both the 3rd and 4th innings. Those are the 3 things that you can say, hey, you got a seniors leading the way to build culture. You got an 8th grader making stuff happen, and then you have a guy in Taven Dutton that will have around for another year with some smart base running to be able to get a run. Beyond that, it was not a night to remember here in Marshalltown.
We will take a quick timeout. We'll name our player of the game when we come back. This is your home for the Cats, KFJB-TV.
You planned and saved for your child to go to college, but medical school after graduation was a surprise. A happy, expensive surprise. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When opportunities surprise you, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
With over 10,000 cars at our disposal, Jensen Ford...
Hold on. That's not really how we do things at Jensen Ford.
How about, it's never been a better time to buy a brand new...
Yeah, we don't really do that either. When you're ready to buy a car, we'll be ready to help.
Try this. We'll get you in and out faster than a speeding...
We don't do that either. At Jensen Ford, we'll take as much time as you need to find the right vehicle. We're not just moving cars, but we're building relationships.
Oh, maybe more of a... This is where your family buys their vehicles.
There you go. More like that.
At Honest Heating and Cooling, they take comfort seriously. Their latest offering? Smart integrity monitoring. Combined with an honest maintenance plan, it takes all the guessing out of home comfort. Their technicians take accurate measurements of all the necessary parameters and deliver you the truth about where your home's comfort stands. If you're not measuring, you're just guessing. That's honest. Get a smart integrity monitoring plan and let the Honest team watch over your home's comfort 24/7. Honest Heating and Cooling.
Welcome back into the Locker Room Report, all brought to you by Wells Fargo Advisors in Marshalltown. Now time for tonight's Player of the Game, all presented by Opa Grill in Marshalltown. Greek and traditional favorites. All you have to say is Opa, our Player of the Game tonight, Dylan.
It is going to be the senior. We saw him at the end of the 3rd and the 4th inning, both catching it and stepping on second for the double play. Sam Griesel got the first RBI for the Bobcats and just was in it defensively all night long. The leadership of the senior, along with the execution, had a nice game.
Yeah, this is one of the nice plays he had right there. He flipped it to Stelzer to record the out for the double play. So congrats to Sam Griesel. He is our Player of the Game tonight. Again, all brought to you by Opa Grill in Marshalltown. Griesel receives a $20 gift certificate to Opa Grill in Marshalltown. This is the Locker Room Report. You're watching KFJB-TV.
What does OPA mean? OPA means joy, enthusiasm, and approval. And when you dine at Opa Grill in Marshalltown, you'll understand why. With their made-to-order pastas, soups, and salads made daily with the freshest ingredients. Favorites include chicken parmesan pan-fried to perfection, fresh and light chicken lemon rice soup, and their signature Opa salad topped with seasoned gyro meat. Opa Grill Family Restaurant in Marshalltown, where you can dine in or drive through. All you have to say is, Opa!
You should never have to wait after ordering new appliances. At Penn's Appliance, you wouldn't. With an incredible selection in stock and ready to install today. Our friendly team is here to help you pick the perfect set to match your style. And let our professional technicians install and set up your new appliances, often delivering the very next day. Stop in today, see all the new features, and find your new look at Penn's Appliance. For sales and service of everything appliance, go see the Pence team.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce reminds you that when you shop locally, you are benefiting members of our community and adding to our local community overall. You'll find local business owners are generally more knowledgeable, provide better service, and even know their customers by name. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce exists to be an advocate for our business community. Membership in the Chamber benefits your business and adds to the strength of our advocacy efforts. For more information on shopping locally and Chamber membership, go to Marshalltown.org.
Welcome back to the Marshalltown Baseball Complex as the Bobcats fall in Game 2, 25-2. Falling Game 1, 19-0 up on the Marshalltown Hy-Vee scoreboard. Getting a regional scoreboard update, all brought to you by Central State Bank. Dylan, some finals tonight.
Yeah, we'll start on the other end of the complex. In Game 1, Bobcats gave up 3 in the top of the 7th, lose to Ottumwa 5-4. They're in the 5th inning right now. Last score update I have is Bobcats are leading 3-1 over Ottumwa. And then with other baseball action around, Indianola leads Newton after 2, 3-1, and that's in the second game of their doubleheader. Waukee and the Jaguars of Ankeny Centennial are tied at 4 after Centennial won that first game 11-1. Dyke New Hartford's up 13-7 in the 5th over Wapsie Valley. Norwalk leads Pella 6-2 after beating them in the first game. That second game is in the 3rd inning. And then Johnston beat Valley 14-5 in Game 1 of 2.
That is a scoreboard update, all brought to you by Central State Bank. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll talk to Colton Hankey when we come back right here on KFJB-TV.
You look forward to retirement as your time to relax. But now that it's here, turns out relaxation is overrated and you'd rather get back to work with an idea of your own. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement plans change course, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
As you walk inside, you know right away, the place for fun is Wayward Social. There is always plenty of bowling action, so plan for your next outing to include bowling at Wayward Social. Meet your friends for lunch, dinner, or your favorite beverages. You will absolutely love their lunch specials Tuesday through Friday, including endless pizza by the slice. You choose the toppings. Wayward Social, South 6th Street in Marshalltown. Online at wayward-social.com.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Edward Jones financial advisor Zach Wall can help. He'll work with you on an investment strategy for long-term results. Edward Jones can give you the tools and knowledge for a steady approach to hitting your financial targets. Get started by giving Zach Wall a call at 641-752-3017 in Marshalltown or visiting edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Some drivers trade cars every year or every other year. Some drive their cars till they drop. Whatever kind of driver you are, Lennox Employees Credit Union is here to get you into the car for your style of driving. You're invited to go to our website, lennoxecu.com, for membership eligibility and loan rates, or call the office to talk to a loan officer. The loan process is quick and easy. Low auto loan rates from Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown. Member NCUA.
Back in on the Locker Room Report on KFJB-TV, our post-game interview with Coach Colton Hankey, all brought to you by Century Plumbing, specializing in service plumbing in Marshalltown. Coach, I know the direction of both of these games didn't go the way you want them, 25-2 and 19-0, but boy, some really nice plays by our player of the game in Sam Griesel. He had an RBI in game number 2, a couple of really nice double plays that he helped make. What's that senior leadership by him kind of mean to your program as you take over the first year, really try to get this program going in the right direction?
Like we talked about preseason, having those upperclassmen between like Coos and Green, the seniors, but then like having the guys like Griesel, Stupp, and Dutton, those juniors, kind of filling in as like a senior role, like you said, and still just plugging away with it. If that doesn't happen, then it's just the trickle down effect where the younger guys start to cave in too, and we just. With our program, we can't afford to have that. So Griesel and Coos behind the plate sticking with it, it's huge for us right now.
You know, you were able to also get some pitchers, some innings that, Ashton Wright hadn't really pitched a whole lot this year. Gilliland as well. He hadn't really pitched this year as well. So being able to get those guys not only maybe some innings, how do you kind of keep their confidence up? This game maybe got a little out of hand early, but try to think big picture, I guess, to some of those younger guys.
Yeah, I mean, with Gilly, he's had a couple innings JV-wise, so he had at least some previous experience, but him being out there for the first time for varsity in a situation like that, you just have to tell him that that's the first time you've been out there, and you have to grow from that.
Yeah.
Ashton, he's had some pens, but hasn't really been out there JV-wise, so really sticking him out there. And I mean, he did okay for the situation that he was in, and it's the same thing to him coming in as an 8th grader, and you just have to continue to progress. You really, like you said, you have to think long term. Ashton, only an 8th grader, still have 4 years. Gilly, you have 3 years after this, and there's still improvement, and obviously, but you get something under their belt for right now.
Yep.
And one of the things with the Bobcats, we're not going to be people that are going to hit it power into the gaps. We're going to have to manufacture some runs. There in the first game, you had an opportunity, 1st and 3rd, nobody out, couldn't score. But I thought actually in the second game, the score was not what we wanted, but there were a couple innings where you're able to manufacture runs in the first inning off of Kusaro's triple, but really Taven Dutton and heads-up base running, being able to tag up from second from Stubbs' fly ball out, and then was able to score on Green. What can you say about Taven Dutton and just heads-up base running to be able to manufacture some runs?
Yeah, we don't really get that many base runners to begin with, so we have to execute what we've got and be willing to take that extra base. We've even going off of Monday night from Waterloo East, we had a couple of guys that hit shots in the gaps, and they got in triples and just trying to get that extra 90 feet. Dutton getting to third, Coos getting over to third as well, and we have to be aggressive with what we've got, and we were able to still get some runners on and at least apply some sort of pressure to Ottumwa and get something out of it.
Yeah. Tomorrow night, you welcome in Mason City. We'll have doubleheader coverage starting at 5 o'clock here tonight. Last question for you, Coach. In that, a busy week like this, does that make it challenging your job managing innings and all that kind of stuff?
For sure. I mean, you have close games Monday night. Who do you pitch? Who do you save? It gets tricky, especially when you have just kind of the group that we have in terms of numbers and experience. But yeah, it's next guy up, and that's just where we're at right now, and just continue to grow. And we got a couple guys for tomorrow night that threw Monday, so it's throw out there what we've got and just go from there. Yeah,
and one of those guys probably Xander Stepp, as he's been very solid for you this year.
Yeah, Xander, had a great performance Monday night, and hopefully it continues, and that should give him a lot more of a boost of confidence going into the rest of the season, because he's been throwing good, and then just can't really get the job done on offensively, defensively, and kind of get a few more wins under his belt. But he gave us the best chance that we could ever ask for from him on Monday night, and now we go into tomorrow night and hopefully get something out of it from tomorrow night.
Yeah. Thanks for the time, Coach. Appreciate it here tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Colton Anke with us on our post-game chat, all presented by Century Plumbing in Marshalltown. This is the Locker Room Report. You're watching KFJB-TV.
When you need a plumber quickly, try Century Plumbing of Marshalltown. We specialize in service plumbing, not new construction or large remodels, so we get to our customers faster, from clogged drains to water heaters and everything in between. We can help with a guaranteed appointment and quality, efficient service. I'm Sarah, co-owner of Century Plumbing, and I'd love to book your appointment today. Call 641-750-0108. That's 641-750-0108.
You're an empty nester closing in on that retirement property. Chances are your plans didn't include mom moving in, but life happens and you do the right thing. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement means caring for yourself and a loved one, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Scouts in Marshalltown go on fun adventures. Scouts learn about the outdoors. Scouts learn character building. Scouts learn citizenship. Scouts learn life skills. Scouts learn to be leaders. Scouts go to fun summer camps, and Scouts get a head start in life. Marshalltown has produced over 200 Eagle Scouts in our over 70-year history and have provided over 1 million hours of service to our community. To learn more about joining Scouting in Marshalltown, go to iascouts.org. Adventure on!
How can you help Marshalltown High School and enjoy a mouth-watering burger at the same time? By ordering the Bobcat Burger at Legends American Grill. 2 quarter-pound patties with crisp bacon strips, sautéed onions, and melted American cheddar, jack, and Swiss cheeses on top of fresh shredded lettuce on a toasted bun. It's absolutely delicious. $1 from every Bobcat Burger sold is donated by Legends to Marshalltown High School activities. So, enjoy a Bobcat Burger and help MHS. The Bobcat Burger, another exclusive from Legends American Grill in Marshalltown.
One final time on the locker room report here tonight at the Marshalltown High School Baseball Complex. 19-0 and 25-2. Bobcats fall in the doubleheader against the Ottumwa Bulldogs. Coming up tomorrow night, hope to have you along for doubleheader coverage of baseball, as we'll be right back here at the Marshalltown Baseball Complex. Coverage starts at 5 o'clock tonight or tomorrow night as the Bobcats take on Mason City, and we'll have that one for you. And our following game, Ames, next Thursday at softball action. Next Thursday against Ames. Coverage will start at 5 o'clock in that one as well. For our KFJB-TV crew back at the radio studios, Jeff Brooks tonight, thanks to his work, getting us scores. Keith Stewart, Jesse DeMeyer on camera work, Zach Tomish, our producer. For Dylan Doze, I'm Brandon Lewis. Have a great rest of your Wednesday night. You've been watching Marshalltown Bobcat Baseball right here on your home for the Cats, KFJB-TV.
Today's game on KFJB-TV was brought to you by Assured Partners, Boy Scouts of America, Edward Jones, Agent Zach Wall, Embers Retirement Community, Honest Heating and Cooling, Jensen Ford, Legends American Grill, Lennox Employees Credit Union, Marshalltown Area Chamber, Marshalltown Community College, McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, Pence Appliance and TV, Wayward Social, Zeno's, Wandering Creek, Wells Fargo Advisors, Laurel Diesel Services, Calvin Rocket, your Marshalltown Hy-Vee, Central State Bank.